This is Yonaguni Island, population 1,700, known for wild horses, hammerhead sharks, and some of the best diving in Japan. It's also 70 miles from Taiwan, and right now it's being transformed into one of the most strategically important pieces of territory in the Pacific. In October, US Marine helicopters landed here for the first time, placing American forces closer to Taiwan than ever before from Japanese soil. But they didn't just land. Marines and Japanese troops built a forward arming and refueling point, infrastructure designed to keep aircraft operating deep inside contested airspace. Weeks later, Japan's defense minister visited the island and announced the deployment of surface-to-air missiles, systems that could engage Chinese aircraft halfway to Taiwan's coast. And this month, US and Japanese forces return again, in greater numbers across a wider area. Iron Fist, the annual bilateral amphibious exercise, kicks off in February across 19 sites in the Ryukyu Island chain, more locations than ever before. All of this is the preparation and infrastructure you build if you're expecting a fight over Taiwan. But here's the bigger story that explains why US Marines are operating on Yonaguni in the first place. These deployments are the result of the most radical transformation any US military service has undertaken in decades, a deliberate redesign of the Marine Corps for one specific scenario: war with China. For most of the last 30 years, the Marines fought in dry, arid conditions, principally Iraq and Afghanistan. They got very good at counterinsurgency, urban warfare, and operating against non-state actors across the Middle East and Central Asia. But a war with China wouldn't look anything like that. The People's Liberation Army has spent 2 decades building what's called an anti-access bubble over the Western Pacific. Long-range missiles that can hit ships and bases thousands of miles out, backed by dense surveillance networks. The explicit goal: keep American forces so far back they can't intervene if China moves on Taiwan. The Marines looked at this problem and realized their traditional playbook, including mass amphibious assaults on conventional landing ships, would get them kills. Those ships would be tracked and targeted long before they got close. So they asked a different question. What if, instead of trying to punch through China's missile envelope from the outside, you were already inside it when the war started? That question led to a concept called Expeditionary Advanced Base Operations. The idea is simple in theory, but radical in practice. Small teams of Marines, sometimes just a few dozen, dispersed across islands inside China's weapons range. Hard to find, hard to hit, armed with missiles that can sink ships from land. What this means is that if war starts, these Marines won't be sailing toward the fight. They'll already be living inside it. Instead of seizing territory, they're denying the sea. They turn the islands of the first island chain, the archipelago stretching from Japan through Taiwan to the Philippines, into a wall of sensors and shooters. To make this work, the Corps didn't just tweak its equipment, it gutted its own force structure. They got rid of all their tanks, transferred to the army. They cut their artillery by 75%, reduced infantry battalions, shrunk the size of fighter squadrons. In exchange, they built something new: Marine littoral regiments, purpose-built units for island warfare in the Pacific, equipped with anti-ship missiles, air defense systems, mobile radar, and drones at every level down to the rifle squad. The 3rd Marine Littoral Regiment, based in Hawaii, reached initial operating capability in late 2023. The 12th MLR, based in Okinawa, is projected to be operational this year. Both are assigned to 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force, the unit responsible for the Indo-Pacific, the unit that would fight a Taiwan war. So what does this actually look like on the ground? Start with NMESIS. It's a Naval Strike Missile mounted on a robotic ghost truck. The first 6 of these launches were delivered to the 3rd MLR in 2023, but that was just the beginning. The Corps is now scaling up to 18 launches per battery. That means a single Marine unit, hidden in the jungle, can unleash a coordinated volley of 36 supersonic missiles at a passing fleet, and then disappear before the smoke clears. Then there's MADIS, the Marine Air Defense Integrated System, a mobile unit that detects and engages drones, helicopters, fixed-wing aircraft, and cruise missiles. 20 systems have already been delivered across the force. But the Marines have gone even further by adding the Gator radar, a multi-role sensor that feeds targeting data into what the Marines call kill webs. This is the digital glue that connects a radar in the hills to a missile launcher 5 miles away. Nearly 60% of planned systems were fielded by the end of 2025. And at the smallest level, every rifle squad now includes a precision fires Marine trained to operate lethal drones. So the entire force, from regimental command down to 13-man infantry squads, is being rewired for distributed long-range killing. And all of this is being rehearsed across the Pacific right now. The exercises are getting bigger, the integration with regional partners is getting deeper, the geography is getting closer to Taiwan. At Balikatan 25, the annual US-Philippine exercise, the 3rd MLR integrated NMESIS, MADIS, and Gator together within the 1st island chain for the first time. Marines practice deploying in small, low-signature formations to seize and defend key maritime terrain. At Resolute Dragon 25, Marines and Japan's ground self-defense force rehearsed exactly what the doctrine describes: Expeditionary Advanced Base Operations in defense of key terrain. That exercise took place in Japan's southwest islands, including Yonaguni. And this year's Iron Fist exercise, starting in February, will span 19 sites across the Ryukyu island chain, more locations than ever. Tokyo is deploying its own missiles to these islands. In particular, the chu-sam air defense system is coming to Yonaguni. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Takaichi has gone further than any Japanese leader in decades, stating explicitly that a Chinese attack on Taiwan would be a survival-threatening situation for Japan, language that triggers collective self-defense alongside the United States. Last week, she went further still. The alliance would crumble, she said, if Tokyo ignored a Taiwan crisis. So why is all of this accelerating now? Late last month, China began purging the 2 most senior military figures below Xi Jinping himself, Vice Chairman Zhang Yuzha and Chief of Staff Lu Zhenli. Official statements accuse them of damaging combat capability and trampling Xi's authority. Analysts believe the real issue was timing linked to any move against Taiwan. Zhang favored a cautious approach: full joint operations capability by 2035. Xi wants it by 2027. That disagreement cost Zhang his career. Xi is removing the generals who urged patience. Their replacements will be chosen for compliance. Washington sees this, Tokyo sees this, and that's why neither is waiting. Yonaguni Island, 70 miles from Taiwan, home to fewer than 2,000 people, is now at the center of this struggle. American helicopters have landed, Japanese missiles are being deployed, and a new kind of Marine Corps is taking shape across the Pacific.